service.
What are the chances that we
Chances are good that it could bring
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
You ready for the big trip? Yeah, you did that, right? So,
I'll tell you stories.
הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. Page 10. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. We're going to keep welcoming in Shabbat as we welcome in one another. I can see this is a very welcoming crowd tonight. So page 24, let's welcome in the Shabbat messengers of peace with Shalom Aleichem, and welcome to those joining us on live stream as well. Shalom Aleichem, Malachi Hasharet, Malachi Elyon. Mi Melech Malachi malachim hakadosh baruch hu. Boachem leshalom malachei hashalom malachei elyon. Mimelech malachei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. Baruch hu nile shalom malachei hashalom malachei elyon. Mimelech malachei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. Tzedchem leshalom malachei hashalom malachei elyon. Mimelech malachei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. Shabbat Shalom. It is good to be together this evening to bring in Shabbat together. Welcome back, Michael McLaughlin, helping us on piano. And we have new microphones here at Temple Beth David, by the way. They just arrived. So I don't know if I sound better. It's probably the microphone. So to be honest, you know, with Shabbat, it's a pause in time, a moment to really reflect on our week, to really be present. And I'm not really sure what time it is because I just got back from California, a little bit jet lagged, a little sleep deprived, but you're going to all keep me awake and singing and present in this moment. Again, it is good to bring in Shabbat together. The threat of thunderstorms and high humidity was enough to in addition to my rabbi job, being a meteorologist on Fridays now, was enough to put us inside tonight, hopefully with the comfort of air conditioning. We're going to turn back now to pages 2 and 3, and it is truly an honor to invite Elena Scherer now to bless our Shabbat candles this evening, and this is her first Shabbat here officially as our new temple president.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we by our lives give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the lights of Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom again, Mazel Tov, Elena. Let's join together on the bottom of page 6. May the door of this synagogue be wide enough to receive all who hunger for love, all who are lonely for friendship. May it welcome all who have cares to unburden, thanks to express, hopes to nurture. May the door of this synagogue be narrow enough to shut out pettiness and pride, envy and enmity. May its threshold be no stumbling block to young or straying feet. May it be too high to admit complacency, selfishness, and harshness. May this synagogue be for all who enter the doorway to a richer and more meaningful life. And we'll join in L'Chadodi as we welcome in the Shabbat bride. Page 20, we'll join in verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. And on the last verse, if you're able, you're welcome to rise, face the doors to bring in Shabbat. Lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad Yishmiyanu el ha-meyuchad Adonai echad u'shemo echad L'shemo tiferet v'litila Lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela Lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha lehi mekor habracha v'rosh mikedem nasucha sof maaseh v'machshavat tchila lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela Hitoreri kiva orek umi uri shir daberi kevod Adonai alayich migla lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Boi v'shalom atet ba'ala gam besimcha uvetzola toch emunei am segula boi chala lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. And we'll remain standing and turn to page 26 for Chatzi Kaddish, our lead-in, our bridge to the call to prayer. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah be'alma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei b'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayedecho beit Yisrael Bagala uvizman kariv vehimeru amen Yehi shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam olamei amaya yitbarach ve'yishtabach ve'yitpa'ar ve'yitroman ve'yitnaseh ve'yithadar ve'yitale ve'yithalal Shemedekucha brichu Leila min kol birchata veshirata Tushbechata v'nechemata damiran be'alma v'yimeru. Amen. Page 28. Yai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Let's join together in the English of Ma'ariv Aravim on the bottom of page 31. This is an hour of change. Within it, we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? Baruch atah Adonai HaMa'ariv Aravim. And we sing of God's everlasting love, Ahavat Olam, page 32. Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha Ahavta, Torah u'mitzvot, chukim u'mishpatim, otanu limadeta. Al kein Adonai Eloheinu, v'shochbeinu u'v'kumeinu, nasiach bechukecha, v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha, u'v'mitzvotecha, le'olam va'ed. Ki hem chayenu ve'orach yameinu, ve'orach yameinu. Uvahem nega yomam v'layla, yomam v'layla. V'avatcha tasir mimenu le'olamim, Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. We're not quite at High Holidays yet. You may be seated. We'll continue with words of Torah, page 36. Let's chant together. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, Adonai Elohechem Emet. And let's read together this interpretation, page 37. Love your God with every heartbeat, with every breath, with every conscious act. Keep in mind the words I command you today. Teach them to your children. Talk about them at work. Whether you are tired or you are rested, let them guide the work of your hands. Keep them in the forefront of your vision. Do not leave them at the doorway of your house or outside your gate. They are reminders to do all of my mitzvot so that you can be holy for God. I am Adonai your God. I led you out of Egypt to be your God. I am Adonai your God. We'll join in our Song of the Sea, our Song of Redemption, page 40. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 ya la 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 la. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot osefele, nora tehilot osefele. Balechutecha ra'u vanecha, lokei ayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam, Zelianu ve'amru, Zelianu ve'ameru, Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed, Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 ya la 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 la. ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל. Continue now with our prayer for the evening, a prayer for peaceful evening, Hashkivenu, page 42. You can find some additional English words on this green page as we call to mind God's Sukkot Shalom, God's shelter of peace, spread over us, inviting us to be here in this moment, pausing and slowing down a little bit to recognize the sense of peace and safety. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom V'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom V'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Spread the shelter of your peace over us. Guide us in wisdom, compassion, and trust. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom V'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Save us for the sake of your name. Shield us from hatred, sorrow, and pain. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom V'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. L'chaim. And as each week we get to celebrate this gift of time, this gift of Shabbat, we sing together on the top of page 44. V'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ladorotam berit olam. V'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ladorotam berit olam. Beini uvein bnei Yisrael oti leolam, oti leolam. V'shamru bnei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ladorotam berit olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz. V'shamru bnei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ladorotam berit olam. Uvayom hashvi shavat vayinafash, shavat vayinafash, shavat vayinafash. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורתם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורתם ברית עולם. I invite you now to rise in body or in spirit as we move into our tefillah, the central prayer of our service. Page 46, we'll begin together with these opening meditative words. O God, open my lips that we may find the words in which to praise you. Adonai, Ananana Sfatai Tiftach, Ananana Ufi Agid, Ufi Agid Tahilatecha, Ananana Adonai, Ananana Sfatai Tiftach, Ananana Ufi Agid, Ufi Agid Tahilatecha, Ananana Adonai, Ananana Sfatai Tiftach, Ananana Ufi Agid, Ufi Agid Tahilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, Umevi Geulah livnei v'neihem, Leman Shemo be'ahava. Melech Ozer u'Moshiach u'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechaye hakol atah Rav lehoshia, Morid hatah. Mechakel chaim bechesed, Mechaye hakol berachamim rabim, Somech noflim v'rofech cholim, Umatir asurim, Umekayem emunato, Lishenei afar, Micha mocha ba'al gevurot, Umido melach, Melech memit umechayeh, Umat וצמיח ישוע, ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God. I invite you to take a few moments for your own silent prayer, the prayers of your hearts, and when you are ready, you may be seated. We end our tefillah on page 62 with the prayer that says, may our words be accepted, O God. And as we enter the fifth book of the Torah, the Shabbat, Devarim, which means words, we are reminded that our words matter, that our words may be heard and accepted. Yehiu leratzon imre fi vehegyon libi lefanecha Adonai Adonai tzuri vegoali tzuri vegoali. May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable to you, Adonai, my rock and my redeemer, my rock and my redeemer. We turn now to our prayer for health and healing on page 253. We take this moment in our service to especially pray for our loved ones who are ill at this time. We are praying for Colin Monroe, Enrico Mascaro, Annette Zerachian, Benjamin Horowitz, Bradley Dichter, Mateo Goldman, Asya Rushavskaya, Eileen Arnone, Jean Sands, Tom Fiorino, Jerry Spingarn, Beth Gottlieb, Joseph Sands, Ethel Sharonau, Rhea Rebecca, Ida Kublin, Peter Lawrence, Sarah Bat David Veyosefia, Herb Kupferschmidt, Linda Asher, Alan Aflito, Rosalind Slifka, Yonatan, son of Anna, Peggy Monroe, Arlene Altman, Bonnie Shulkin, Ann Heller, Vered Bat Aviva, Leonardo, son of Simone. If there are other names that you'd like to mention, you may do so. Berach avotenu mekor habracha laimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishaberach imotenu mekor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. All right, well, I decided if things are sounding better tonight, it's not the microphones, it's Michael. So, as most of you know, I just returned from vacation. It was a truly wonderful, full week with Micah, without our kids, in Northern California. Truth be told, it was the first time we've had a real vacation without our kids in, well, you can do the math, 16 years. We saw some family and friends. We hiked along the coast and among the redwoods. We ate delicious food and drank amazing wine. I can tell anyone the story of a winery we found off the beaten path that you couldn't even use GPS to find. We basked in the sun and breathed in the very dry air. Every day as beautiful as the day before and the day after in California. While Israel is the promised land, I also view this part of the U.S. as God's country, and if you haven't been, I highly recommend it. Since our family lived in California, and since Micah and I were there for nearly 20 years, especially in the San Francisco Bay Area, Micah and I were commenting as we were traveling around during the week that we did not feel like tourists. It was not that kind of vacation. It felt more like coming home. Don't get me wrong, here is home too. But when you have lived in different places and moved around like we have, it is sometimes hard to know where home is. One day earlier this week, we were driving by where we used to live in San Mateo, just south of San Francisco. With our old neighborhood in our rear view mirror, we reflected on all of our fond memories, the early years of parenting, our favorite local park, and the obvious natural beauty of the bay, the hills, and the ocean. To be honest, it was hard to imagine coming back to the very humid East Coast. But we also spoke about how we probably didn't fully appreciate it all at the time. Maybe we were too tired, maybe we were too busy, maybe we were too focused on what was coming next in the next steps of life. Things certainly looked very good through that rear view mirror. This week's Torah portion, Devarim, also the beginning of the 5th book of the Torah, Deuteronomy, takes place in transit. We pick up on the plains of Moab in the Jordan Valley at the moment when the people of Israel are poised to enter the land of Canaan. The parasha contains the beginning of Moses' farewell speech, which actually starts with a reminder of their history, where they have been, the receiving of the laws, the journey from Mount Sinai, the scouts' visions, and the encounters with other nations. Moses' words were intended for a double audience. Both the first, within the text itself, within the Bible, the generation that was about to enter the promised land. Moses encouraged them to learn from their past mistakes so that they could make the right choices going forward. His words, of course, are especially meaningful as we all know that he will not cross into the land with them. The second audience, though, consists of later generations to come who will ultimately inherit these laws and commandments, who will be entrusted to continue to follow in God's ways, namely us, later in time. While Deuteronomy might seem like a straightforward itinerary of time and place, the more we get into it, the more we will see that it seems, at least to me, to be more of a spiraling back and forth between time and place, almost in New England imagery, like a dizzying rotary of experiences where you can keep going around and get off and maybe come back in. Some scholars believe that the book of Deuteronomy was, in fact, a later book, a commentary on the Torah that then became part of the Torah. If this seems confusing at all, you are in good company. A good GPS will not help with this book of the Torah. In some ways, it helps, at least for me, to suspend your sense of direction and let yourself become part of the spiraling story, the back and forth between place and time. In all of this looking back and looking ahead, one verse stands out in this week's Torah portion as an anchor. Deuteronomy chapter 1, verse 5 says, "On the other side of the Jordan, in the land of Moab, Moses undertook to expound this teaching. Moshe be'er et haTorah hazot, literally enlightened this Torah." In that moment, Moses is not looking back, he's not looking ahead, he stops right where he was, the land of Moab, the valley of Jordan, and he is enlightened with the Torah, basked in the light of Torah in that moment. In this 5th book of Torah, there is one word that keeps appearing as we make our way through it. That word in the Hebrew is hayom. Wondering, anyone know what it means? Think Yom Kippur, because this is a big word on the Yom Kippur Torah portion, which comes from Deuteronomy and part of the liturgy. Fred Davis, hayom. Today, thank you. You can also thank Neil Diamond. So, right. This word hayom occurs frequently. For example, next week we will read, "You should carefully carry out the commandments, the laws, and the statutes that I command you today." And the following week we will read, "Today I set before you blessing and curse." In the midst of all of this looking back and ahead, the reminder to grasp a sense of todayness becomes clear, to be even more fully present where we are in the moment. I will leave you all with a short poem by Corey Feiner called Nomadland. You have it wrong. We nomads are always home. Our search is not like the search for a child who has fallen inside of the toothless earth. Our search is like a smell. It pulls itself up from the ground, lingers, and becomes memory. It is good to be home. Shabbat Shalom. I do want to thank Rabbi Zub for leading services last Shabbat to give us this time off. And I've got to tell you, I have not yet read the draft of the weekly shofar email, so I don't know what's going on next week. So read your email. I'm sure I know that there's a sisterhood field trip to the Vilna Shul in Boston. We have Shabbat, of course, next week as well, and we will hopefully be outdoors if some of that nice California weather makes its way here. And of course, tomorrow morning, our lay-led minyan will take place here at Temple at 9 a.m. I do want to thank our ushers and greeters tonight, David Boehm and Elena Sharonow and Bill Graham. Am I missing anyone else? Okay. Thank you again to Michael. Okay, we are going to move into our concluding prayers for this Shabbat evening. You can find Aleinu L'Shabeach on page 282, and if you're able, we rise. Aleinu l'shabeach l'Adon hakol, l'atei gedula liotzer breshit, shelo asanu kigoye ha'aratzot, velo samanu kimishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chalkenu kahem, v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam, v'anachnu korim, umishtachavim umodim, lifnei melech, malchei hamlachim, hakadosh baruch hu. V'nemar v'haya Adonai lemelech kol haaretz bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad. It looks like we could use some of Moses' light of Torah in our ark. We'll remain standing at this time to take this moment in our service to remember loved ones who are no longer with us. You can find the words to Mourner's Kaddish on page 294. We especially remember Dr. Lovemore Mabighi, a friend of Mark Albion, who passed away in recent weeks, and we remember these loved ones whose yahrzeit, whose anniversary of death occur this week. Morton Atkins, Ruth Baylett, Martin Doktoroff, Milton Goldstein, Parviz Janfaza, Daniel Kerman, Abraham Marks, Nettie Mosias, Philip Osborne, John Sharonow, Gertrude Sherman, Rita Sherman, Benjamin Weinberger. If you are remembering any other loved ones, you may share their names in your hearts or out loud. We join in Mourner's Kaddish as we bless the source of all life. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uvyomechon uvchaye dechol beit Yisrael, ba'gala uvizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevorach leolam ulamei amaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shemei dekudsha b'richu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Zichronam livracha, may their memories be for a blessing. We're also remembering composer, singer Tony Bennett, who died today, who actually in a relevant moment wrote, I left my heart in San Francisco. Not to put you on the spot, you can say no, but Brandon and Isaac, would you like to lead us in Kiddush this evening together? Great. That was even a yes without your parents saying yes for you. So you're going to join? Yeah, you can come on over. So, we're kind of in summer mode here. So, unless anyone would like to, sponsor an ONIC at any point this summer, you're welcome to. Otherwise, I think this is just going to be kind of a grab a cookie and go kind of night. You can find Kiddush on page 5. Page 5.
Baruch Atanai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen.
Amen.
Baruch Atanai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kishanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava u'ratzon tinchilanu. Zikaron le'maseh v'reishit, ki hu yom tehila lemikra'ei kodesh, zecher letziat Mitzrayim, ki vanu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol hamim, v'shabbat kodshecha ve'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat.
Amen. L'chaim. It is a blessing to have both of you here. You might as well keep going with Motzi. So we'll bless and then we'll bring the challah out. So again, you can take some challah with you this evening. Go for it.
Baruch Atanai
Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lecha min haaretz, Shabbat shalom. You guys can take a piece. Want to open it? All right. We'll bring it out. We are going to conclude the last words on page 294, Oseh Shalom, a prayer for peace. And in our West Coast travels, Rabbi Mike and I had the great honor of having dinner with the composer of this melody, Ilana Jagoda, and her husband, Saul Kay. And I am excited to say she is back to composing and promised to share with me any of her new melodies coming out. So I'm excited. Oseh Shalom Bimromav ya'aseh, ya'aseh, ya'aseh shalom. Ya'aseh, ya'aseh, ya'aseh shalom. Ya'aseh, ya'aseh, ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. Oh, say shalom. Bimromav. Oh, say shalom. Bimromav. Ya'aseh, ya'aseh, ya'aseh shalom. Ya'aseh, ya'aseh, ya'aseh shalom. Ya'aseh, ya'aseh, ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. Shabbat Shalom.